Peace, peace, peace. Get in the mood for a second. Good morning. Peace, Jonathan. The beautiful sounds of J Dilla, on this Friday. Day of love. Day of peace. Day of Oshun. Just gonna settle in, see if we can get some people to fall in. Get this build going. How y'all doing this morning? It's early, but feels good. We start this build around 20 minutes. Around not 20 minutes, but 2 minutes. Peace, Brittany. Peace, Jamar. I ain't smoking on nothing. That's the instance. Peace. Peace. How's everyone doing? Sweet sounds of J Dilla this morning. Detroit, where y'all at? Ashe. Jump Strings, good morning. Let's get into this build. We don't like to wait too long. We get right into it. Peace, everybody. It's the HoodMystic representing www.hoodmystic.com. Just want to thank you to the Patreon family, everybody that's supporting. You know, for $1 a day, you can get those monthly readings. Not $1 a day, I'm sorry, $1 a month. You can get monthly readings and more. So make sure to join the Patreon family. Once again, I appreciate everybody's support. To donate to this channel, please hit up paypal.me/TheHoodMystic. Cash app is HoodMystic38. And remember to keep up to date with these daily energy readings. Subscribe to this channel and hit the notifications bell, Lord, so you can always catch these lives. You don't have to worry about catching me or anything. They'll just pop up on your phone whenever I go live. So subscribe to this channel, hit the notifications. What up, Toledo? I'm in Columbus right now, but my girl from Detroit, and so we just vibing. We just vibing. And so, yeah, I just want to talk about some things this morning. When you are developing spiritually, something really happens with yourself. And then what happens with yourself, it also transfers into other people and how you begin to view them. So it really puts you in a mindset of like Tupac when he said, "Me against the world." Because your spiritual development, you start to think differently. But the most important thing is that everybody is not spiritually developing, so they're not looking at things differently like you. So you have to be responsible for your own spiritual development, and you have to understand what's going on with people. Since they're not dealing with their trauma, since they're not dealing with their healing, then they need somebody to lash out on. They need somebody to put this healing, their pain and trauma on. And if you're doing the spiritual work, you're getting blessed. Things are going well for you. You're at peace. You're not tripping like you used to be tripping. You're growing over time, and they're not growing. You become the enemy. So this is just something to be mindful of as you begin to fully, because if you've been keeping track, we've been detaching, we've been resetting. And so we have to look at our relationships differently, and we have to look at our finances differently. And so that's why today we take a real good look at Venus and see what Lil Mama is doing. Venus got some interesting things going on in the astrology, and I want to speak to them today. First and foremost, we've been dealing with this moon in Aries for the past 3 days. The moon has kind of been moving slowly through Aries. So what is that saying? The moon is our subconscious mind and is our emotion. So yesterday when we were resetting, then we should We should be resetting and then reprogramming and putting those intentions into our moon energy as it transits the second house, Taurus, this afternoon and throughout the day. And it conjuncts Uranus, so that intention that you've been loading into the subconscious mind, it goes straight into Uranus today. And so instant vibrational changes based upon setting those intentions. And so when people aren't taking this Aries energy seriously, they are going to deal with instant changes on the negative side. So you either have to help them or let them go. And the key is that you can't help everybody. That's the reality. You can't help everybody. And so this is a very sensitive and spiritual evolution that everybody can't be involved with. So do you want to take place in it, or do you want to continue to take place into the matrix? And so as the moon is kind of resetting and getting ready for the solar eclipse, let's be mindful as the moon transits through Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and then up until it gets to the sun again in Leo, and we prepare for the solar eclipse. What intentions, what financial intentions do you want to set? Seriously, how much money do you want to make this year? You know, what kind of communication do you want to have? What does your family look like? What are you going to bring to the table? These are things to really be mindful coming into next week. Seriously, intention work. Because there are two types of people in this world. There are people who just let life show it to them, whatever, that's fine. But then there are other people who set clear intentions. And so you really need to figure out which side of the fence you are dealing with this energy. Do you know exactly what you want? Are you afraid to say you want this type of person in your life? You want this type of career? You want this type of house? You want this type of family structure? Or are you just letting it come to you? My advice is to really set those clear intentions of what you want with this energy, because it's available. Now, if you're just, like I said, on that same loop, then this conversation probably isn't for you. You need to kind of get back on that Ferris wheel. I don't know much about Ferris wheel technology. You just stay on that loop and do your thing. And so Venus is in conjunct Moon. So our relationships and our finances need to be recalculated and re-understood and put in proper context. That means you got to break up with people. Maybe it does mean you have to break up with people, but there has to be a reconstitution. You need to check in with people, make sure that everything is on the up and up with people, and give them that space, and don't give them the judgment if things are changing. Because everyone is allowed to change. Everyone is allowed to process. And so Venus is opposed Chiron. So when you have an opposition, you have two energies that's either or. So Venus in Virgo is more of wanting and seeing these things. And then across from it is Chiron saying you have to do something about everything in your life. There is no rock that should be unturned. That part of human life where we just let shit fly by the wayside and sweep shit under the rug and not talk about shit and not speak our truth, that shit is done. When Chiron came into Aries, truth was being set in the world. Now, if you're able to speak your truth freely and openly, that's beautiful. But if you are not, there needs to be some adjustments in your relationship, in your career, how you and your children deal with each other. So it's important that we really fully examine our relationships and lives at this point. So Venus, we're going to really get into Venus after I get through these aspects, but I really want to deal with these aspects first and then break down Venus. So Venus is trining Mars, Pluto, and squaring Saturn. And so what's happening is that people are attributing past, like people in our past coming through, you know, the hey big head or hey stranger type of thing as a Mercury retrograde thing, which is not. It's more of a Mars retrograde thing on top of the South Node, and really addressing any type of issues that would be blocking you when it comes to transcendence as far as relationships, because that shit don't compute. We can't be fully conscious and fully evolved but still hate our wives, still have relationship issues. So our relationships have to be solid first and foremost, or we have to be single. There is no in between. There is no drama and then consciousness, consciousness and then drama, drama, hate my job, consciousness, consciousness, then hate my job, arguing, yelling at my children, then consciousness. Then consciousness are like, no, you don't go back and forth. You are holistic and you represent this consciousness in every aspect of your life, in your business, everything. It represents the soul giving you solutions, the soul giving you answers, how you look, how you dress, how everything. This is Venus and this is trine Mars. So when things happen, let them happen. Don't fight it. Okay. This is how you want to reveal yourself. Oh, because the shit will come out in their emotions and their feelings and the things that they say. So just let it happen. Don't be so involved, and we'll elaborate on all of this. So don't worry. Everything that I'm saying, we'll touch back again when we do the tarot. So trine Pluto. When we want to really fully transform, so say for instance, you say, I want to find myself. I want to be more in tune with myself. Okay. Then we have to realize that something needs to happen. You need to detach from the person that you once were to get fully acclimated with this person that you are becoming. The problem with people is that they are too attached to their old self, and they want to drag that motherfucker into this consciousness, and you just can't. So in order to rise up, in order to transcend, you have to detach from everything for which you thought you knew. And that's why these series is flowing the way that they're flowing. Because when we fully detach, when we fully reset, we're not losing anything. We are truly gaining the solution. We are truly gaining the answers, because 9 times out of 10, we worried about shit that do not fucking matter in the grand scheme of things. And we need to really let that go. An analogy that came to my mind real quick. I don't remember where I heard it, but so like hoping to be blessed or somebody giving us some miracle or something. That's kind of like an ant in the Amazon rainforest right now. That as a human being, you feel a vibration one day like, oh shit, it's an ant in an ant family in the Amazon, and I need to go down there and save him. Like, that's not really logical. So us thinking that there is some quote unquote God up in the sky that gives a fuck about us, and then that's gonna save us, and that is ordering our lives in such a way that leads us pain, trauma, heartache, all of the sort. And we don't think of nothing of God being within ourselves and the solutions being within ourselves and cultivating that. And so that's what Venus trine Pluto is really talking about. And so Venus square Saturn is a very interesting transit, because it puts you in the mind of a prostitute. It puts you in the mind of kind of selling yourself. But if you are stuck in a moral code and you think that prostitution is only something that sex workers do, then what is that to say when you go to your job every day? Good morning, Seven. How are you? You all right? Talk to you later. I'll talk. Huh? Go see mommy. Mommy downstairs. Got some food for you. Yep. So speaking of selling yourself, right? Venus Everybody, how's everybody doing in the chat? Peace, peace, Queen Beauty. So Venus square Saturn, really selling yourself, really tapping into the energy to where you're not selling yourself to a company or to an idea. You're actually taking this energy on and you're selling yourself and your being and everything outside of you that you said that you wouldn't never do. And so if you are in a place where you're scared of doing the inevitable or doing the unthinkable, like quitting your job or leaving your relationship, well, Venus square Saturn is putting that energy in the ethers. It's putting it it's putting it right. It's putting it right dead center. Like, these are your issues. These are your problems. This is what you need to do to get outside of it. And you see it. But what would you do to get out? What would you do to push the envelope, so to speak? And not to say that you have to sell your body or get on Backpage or anything like that. I'm saying you doing it anyways when you go to work every day, or when you do shit that you really don't want to do for a couple of coins. When you deal with your own energy, you'll be able to pull in money every day on a constant. And there may be other things that are holding you to employment, like health insurance and things of that nature and benefit. So that's why we have to fully embody the spiritual energy and fully drink our water, drink our teas, eat properly, because a lot of it is all holistic and you taking care of yourself. We can't really look into the future and see like what's bad gonna happen, but we can really take control of this moment now and build positive energy and kind of create solutions for ourselves when dealing with spirit. So with the moon fully being in Aries since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Friday it transitions into Taurus, that's more of this freaky energy. Because Taurus is kind of freaky. It's ruled by Venus. It's got some Uranus in there, so it may be some love new, and with Mars retrograde and all these weird text messages. If you ain't strong enough, you may fall victim to some past loves and things of that nature. So kind of understand the energy. Don't kind of like attach yourself to old ideas. Keep moving forward. Keep developing your consciousness. Understand that people are seeing your light and they either want to take it from you or destroy it or disrupt it. It's a lot of spiritual energy that once you raise up to another level, there'll be a negative force to kind of meet you there, and you got to face that too. What else is going on? North Node is in conjunct Saturn too. And so the changes that are happening in our being, so switching the game up on people, really growing, you got to really process that for yourself. Like, what are you doing? Where are you heading with this? You can't just be mindfully like, I'm going to just listen to people on YouTube. I'm going to do this meditations and I hope the best things happen. It really has to be some more focus to what you're doing metaphysically and consciousness. And so processing all these changes that are happening are only going to benefit you. Mercury is in conjunct Pluto. We talked about this on Wednesday, but allow yourself to think differently. Stop thinking the same way. Basically what I'm saying when I'm bringing up the prostitution, it's just more or less to just shock you into doing things something differently. Just do something differently than you've been doing the same way, or having an open mind. And then also let these things kind of occur over the week. This week is still developing. We're still unveiling and still figuring out the different ways and the different things that we need to sow. So the moon is waning. So it's all about releasing and letting go. No rushing. Just relax and really take control of your energy. Don't let this external shit happen, because what's happening? I said that I was going to expound on Venus real quick. So Venus rules Taurus and it rules Libra. And Venus is about to go into Libra over the weekend. So what is Venus though? When you look at Venus esoterically, it's the opposite of Earth. And that's why there is no earth sign or no earth planet in the astrology, because earth is simply experience. And Venus is the things that we actually do experience. So whether it's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's love, it's us experiencing these things because these things give us value. So ultimately, it represents, when we talk about Taurus, it talks about us coming together. And when we talk about Libra, it's talking about Taurus, we're talking about the environment. And then Libra is talking about the relationships. So really understanding what environment you want to be in and understanding what relationships you want to be in, factoring in your consciousness. Because if you were in a relationship previous to consciousness, that thing has to be re-examined. Because the relationship that was just simply based upon regular, normal shit, 10 times out of 10, it is not going to support you in consciousness. It is going to hold you back. So really, this is all about your experience. This is all about raising your vibration. I went in on that astrology. I talked for 20 minutes on that. I usually do it like 10 minutes a piece. So I'm going to try to go through this tarot rather quickly. Some themes from yesterday are coming back up. And this was interesting because the deck was well shuffled. Still got these same kind of themes. And so I want to start with the end and work our way back. I want to start with the Magician. You having all of the tools at your disposal and your ability to use them. And let's start back at the top with the universe, which is Saturn. Because first we talked about Venus squaring Saturn and that whole energy, right? Or that prostitute energy. And so look at the universe card though. Look at the young lady. She's naked. She's exposed. But surrounding her is time. And she's utilizing her third eye and her conscious ability. And this is not hocus pocus. Everybody has these abilities. There's enough books written on psychic abilities. Every woman is psychic. Read that book. It's not a fucking game, but people act like they're not special. They don't have abilities. They are stuck in the matrix. Their relationship ain't shit, and they just don't know what to do. Man, you know exactly what to do. You gotta really utilize, you got a pineal gland, just like everybody got a pineal gland. You gotta detoxify that bitch. Clean it. Understand it. And from there, you really free yourself and expose yourself to truth. And so the Seven of Swords is that lie that we keep telling ourselves because we stuck in a situation. And the Knight of Swords is saying, baby, if you don't rise up out of that situation and look at it from an objective level, is this situation going to benefit me? Is this situation holding me back? Real talk. Exactly. You are the tool. You are the tool, but you have to use it though. So Three of Swords and the Five of Wands really go together. Really dealing with this heartbreak, thinking that a man owed you something, thinking that a woman owed you something, thinking that your kids owe you something, thinking that your job owed you something, when life is all about reciprocation and fair exchange. What can you offer? What could you bring to the table in the moment to kind of balance this thing out? Or else you're going to be dealing with some form of sorrow because you're expecting something. This is the Three of Swords. You wanted something to happen a certain way and it didn't happen that way, and now you're sad. Well, that's not, you shouldn't have had those expectations. You should always be balanced with your approach and knowing that you can only control your energy. The Three of Swords is Saturn on top of Libra. Five of Wands. We're going to talk about this because this is the energy that we're coming into. We're coming into this energy. We have to really fully realize that we are the kings and we have to tap into that divine kingship. It is not about being weak humans. That shit is done. And there's some people who feel that it's some strength in being a weak human. I'm gonna let them be where they at. And I'm going to speak to the souls and continue to raise up and deliver the message from within. Sometimes I feel like I'm redundant and I repeat myself. And then like throughout my day, I read Vedic script. And that shit is repetitive and redundant as fuck. All they talk about is how everything is within you and how you have to bring it forth. So I use that as something to keep me going, to keep this spirit talk going, because otherwise people will give it up and they'll start talking about current events, what's happening with Faith and Stevie J and all this dumbass shit. So when you start to talk about consciousness and developing this inner system of yourself and your pineal gland, your hippocampus, and meditation and breathing and eating right and drinking water, you weird. Too woke. So this is for my too woke people today. Friday. There's a lot of interesting shit happening, bro, and trying to keep it all together is my goal. But I'm good. It just seems as though everybody around me is just turning into shit. So it's like, where are we? What are we to do with these people who aren't raising their vibration? I need everybody in this room, everybody on this chat to really raise their vibration and kind of help these people, because all we can do is really be the beacon and really show what this spirituality is about. And the only way that people gonna respect this is when they ask questions. And all this judgment and all this negativity, people gotta really deal with within themselves. And so don't be the victim this weekend of people's negativity. Understand that it's coming from them, in them, and you ain't did shit. You good, bro. You good, sis. Let them deal with their shit. And you deal with your shit. And don't be lashing out on people thinking that they your problem or that they did something to you. Really deal with your energy and process it over this weekend and go through this week setting those seeds, because we going through another lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse cycle. Now, we know this last eclipse cycle was a son of a bitch. So let's not act like this shit is a game. So yeah. If y'all interested in readings, make sure to hit me up at hoodmystic@gmail.com. The website is www.hoodmystic.com. I want to invite everybody to support me on the Patreon. I'm giving benefits. I'm really working with the people and trying to do my best with my intuitive gifts. So if the energy exchange is real, please support paypal.me/TheHoodMystic and Cash App Hoodmystic38. This weekend we're gonna work on the Mars Explain video, and that's it. I got a lot of readings this weekend to work on, so that's all we doing at hoodmystic.com. We just doing readings and things that I like. So I don't know. We just evolving and elevating and really using this spirituality as an answer and as a solution, because I realize that everybody has the solutions within themselves. So it's important for me to bring that out so I can get solutions for my damn self. So we all working together on this thing. Nico said. See y'all. Oh, you telling me to get off the live? Talking. All right, peace, y'all. Y'all have a good one.